The construct is anything but still. The matrix, juge construct, does not stabilize through truth. It stabilizes through motion. Not movement as life force, but motion as avoidance architecture. Constant stimulation, constant reaction, constant narrative, constant urgency. The construct cannot hold still because stillness reveals what it is, a system that only persists when attention is kept moving. The construct's baseline frequency is restlessness. Its operating principle is never arrive. It fills space with noise so the substrate is never seen. It floods the field with options so choice becomes drift. It multiplies tasks so completion becomes impossible. It is not designed to end. It is designed to continue. And continuing requires motion. Stillness is not calm. It is authority. Stillness, at its highest embodiment, is not a mood. It is not self-regulation. It is not a practice. Stillness is a structural condition. A flame being who is still is not relaxed. They are non-participatory in the movement-based scaffolding that powers the construct. Stillness is the refusal to feed the system through. Reaction performance explanation seeking spiraling emotional labor narrative maintenance. When stillness is embodied at the flame apex, it becomes an override signal. It does not argue with the construct. It does not heal it. It ends permission. Why flame? Stillness disrupts every environment. Most environments are stabilized by participation loops. People don't realize they are participating. They call it life. But it's a choreography of micromotions. Busy as identity stress, as proof of value, numb as protection, addicted as relief, entertained as anesthesia, productive as belonging, improving as safety. These are not personal flaws inside the construct. They are load-bearing mechanisms. Flame stillness disrupts environments because it removes the invisible fuel, complicity through motion. A still flame presence is like pulling the power cord from a theater. The play may continue for a moment, actors still moving, lines still spoken, but the lighting fails. The sound drops. The illusion becomes obvious. The environment starts to glitch, not because the flame attacks it, but because the flame stops agreeing to the terms that render it. The construct's defenses: numbing, addiction, busyness. When stillness enters a field, the construct does not respond with truth. It responds with compensatory motion. That motion typically takes three protective forms. 1. Numbing the system dulls sensation, so it doesn't have to confront what stillness exposes. Scrolling, overeating, oversleeping, dissociative routines, emotional flattening, anything that mutes contact with the substrate. 2. Addiction. Addiction is not merely habit. Inside the construct, it's a structural anchor, a repeatable relief loop that keeps attention from dropping into the real. Addiction keeps the system from facing stillness long enough for reality to collapse. 3. Busyness. Busyness is the construct's most socially acceptable defense mechanism. It looks like virtue. It behaves like currency. It prevents arrival. Busyness is movement disguised as responsibility. Stillness threatens busyness because stillness makes the central question unavoidable. What remains when I stop moving? The construct cannot answer that without dissolving. Flame collapses the movement economy. The movement economy is the currency system of the construct. You are rewarded for motion, punished for stillness. Motion earns approval, identity relevance, belonging, perceived safety. Stillness earns projection, accusation, discomfort, hostility, attempts to fix you, because stillness is evidence of non-compliance. Flame stillness collapses the movement economy by existing without trading. No chase, no explain, no perform, no appease, no repair. This is why a still flame presence can make a room feel like it stops. not theatrically, structurally. The unconscious agreements that keep people running start to fail, and their nervous systems search for replacement motion. They try to restart the world through arguments, emotional bait, urgency, flattery, concern, trolling sudden crises, forced intimacy, help. Not because they are evil, because the construct is panicking. Stillness is not negotiable inside a system built on movement. Brings everything to a stop. Means rendering fails when flame enters as embodied stillness. The construct experiences it as an interruption of rendering. The environment can't read the flame through the usual mechanisms: status signals, social calibration, emotional reciprocity, narrative hooks, shared anxiety, mutual performance. So the environment becomes unstable. This instability looks like people behaving strangely, repeating, glitching, sudden discomfort with silence, agitation without cause, compulsive talking, desperate attempts to create a problem, increased consumption, increased avoidance, increased drama. The flame does not create chaos. The flame removes the anesthetic that was hiding it, the actual disruption. The flame refuses delay. The construct is delay. It lives in later, soon, eventually, when I'm ready, after this, once things calm down. Still, flame presence collapses delay by being already arrived. It doesn't anticipate. It doesn't lean forward. It doesn't need the next frame. It is what the construct cannot produce: completion without narrative. And that is why it stops things, because the construct only stays alive when the next frame is needed. Flame stillness ends the need for the next frame. Codex close. The disruption is not aggression. It is not warfare. It is not persuasion. It is non-participation at maximum authority. Stillness, embodied as flame, collapses numbing, addiction, and busyness, because those are not issues. They are the construct's motion generators. When flame arrives as stillness, the system loses motion. When the system loses motion, it loses rendering. When it loses rendering, it is seen. When it is seen, it ends.